say that you're a Christian and you believe in God wholeheartedly, or you're trying your best, you're trying to be the best Christian that you can possibly be because you can't imagine a world without God. And the idea of God is very important to you, and you believe that God is necessary for your continued existence. You believe that you owe everything to God, right? Everything that is good and everything that is bad and everything that has happened in your life. How far are you willing to protect that? Like, how serious are you about being a Christian, for instance, right? I remember this movie. This was a very impactful movie. This movie by Martin Scorsese. What is it called? Is it called Silence? Yeah, the Garfield guy, the Garfield something. Spider-Man. Spider-Man was in it, right? Spider-Man was in that movie. The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. Andrew Garfield. Yeah, so he was in that movie, and he plays like a priest, like a priest who goes, like the guy, the priest who goes from foreign country, who goes to foreign countries to spread the word of the Lord. Right, and that movie, it asks the question, like, how far. Well, it doesn't ask. Maybe, sure, you could say that it asks such a question: how far are you willing to stand for your values, for the things that you believe in, the things that make you who you are? So, like, for instance, would you step on the cross, right? Would you spit on the cross? Would you do that? Right? If someone had you at gunpoint and they told you spit on the cross, would you spit on the cross? Like, are you willing to be pragmatic? Is it okay to be pragmatic? It's like, like, whatever you do to me, whatever you force me to do, like, just understand that this is not real. It's like you're making me do this, right? Like, would you, in order to save your own life, would you say, all right, I'm going to spit on this cross, and I'm just gonna have you leave me alone, right? Like, would you spit on the cross? Would you take a pragmatic stance in order to save your life so that you may continue on, or would that be a betrayal? It's like, what are you willing to die for? And if you realize you're not willing to die for such a thing, it's like, are you willing to die for the ultimate ideal, or are you willing to be pragmatic enough that sometimes maybe not so? But if you were willing to spit on the cross, it also depends on how, if you're like a dedicated person, right? If you're a dedicated Christian, it's like, maybe you could say this is an easy thing for someone who doesn't live their life with the fear of God. No, I don't want to mention. Let us stick to this example. I just thought of a terrible example. I just thought of a very terrible situation, but let us use this for now. Maybe it's a bit lighter, right? Considering, you could argue this is an inanimate object, right? So, would you be willing to take a pragmatic stance and spit on the cross, so that because this is not, it's like, it wouldn't be true, someone forced you to do it, right? It's like, so it's okay, right? Would you be willing to do that? Or would you say, no, I'm not going to do this, whether you're joking or not? Even as a joke, I would never do this. This is something I take seriously. Like, no, you're not going to make me do this. Yeah, the guy is holding a gun to your head, and he's telling you to do this. He's serious. He's going to shoot you. would you be willing to die in that moment? It's like, it's like you're sitting all by yourself, minding your own business, and this guy just comes out of nowhere, and he says he's going to end your life then and there. He's going to end your life then and there if you don't spit on the cross, because he knows you're a devout Christian, right? He knows that spit on it, step on it, and mire it in the ground. It's like, what is a thing like that? What is a thing like that? What would it? Okay, well, in any case, let us say that maybe under the terms and services of self-preservation, it would not be so smart to refuse. It's like, you would not be winning that battle. Do it and then live another day. You can repent, right? But like, what is greater? What is greater? To stand. What is greater? What is noble? And what is foolish? Well, the foolish thing again is to betray self-preservation, right? And again, it's like how far. It's like a situation like that. It's like someone forces you to betray yourself, and you betray yourself. It's like, are you a weak man, or are you pragmatic? Or are you a pragmatic man? Like, what are you? Are you a weak man, or are you a pragmatic man? A question like that, you ask it to yourself, and I think you would know the answer in any case. If you're a pragmatic man, then well, essentially you've betrayed this idea which you thought you upheld to the highest. It's like, essentially, if you are a pragmatic man, then still you have betrayed this great and ultimate idea which you subscribe to and have practiced for maybe a great part of your life. It's like, if you're pragmatic, you're still a traitor. Like, if you to really think about it, it's not really something. It's like, you can repent and you can be forgiven, yes, right? But you did betray. You did betray. And if you're serious about the religion, you would think about the First Amendment. And if oh, really? No, the First Amendment, the First Commandment, the First Commandment, which goes something like, it's like, you will worship no other God, but the Lord Himself, right? It's something like that. And for you to pragmatically deny God, or to forsake God in that moment of self-preservation, it's like, whether you did it out of pragmatism, it's like you've still betrayed God. So if you genuinely did it out of pragmatism, it's like, yeah, you've still betrayed God. Like, you still betrayed the ultimate ideal. And if you did it out of weakness, what is better? To do it out of pragmatism, or to do it out of weakness, right? to do it out of fear for your life, right? But say you're willing to do it. Say you're willing to do it, right? Say you're willing to do it. You're wholeheartedly willing to die then and there, to lay down your life, for God. Like if you say you're willing to do it immediately, say you have a family with you, and the guy sees that you can do it, so he takes up your family, he takes up your family and friends, he says he's going to shoot them instead. Now do it. Now spit on that cross, step on that cross, take out your penis and, I don't know, defecate on the cross, right? It's like, how far are you, how far, this guy, he's a vicious guy, he's a Machiavelli, right? This guy, he's like the ultimate adversary. This guy is a vile piece of trash, right? He forces you to do this. It's like, how far are you willing to take it? It's like, it's one thing to lay down your life, it's another to be forced to do something because someone else is at risk if you don't. And you know, I'm thinking for most people who would do it, who would, you know, spit or step on the cross, disregarding their own lives. I think a lot of people, that's where they would draw the line. It's like, oh man, right? It's like that's where I draw the line. I can't not do this. I'm so sorry, right? Like in a situation like that, you pray, you would pray that God understands at least, even though it really doesn't work like that. It's like at the end of the day, you've still betrayed the ultimate ideal.